Welcome to the weekly Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. The convener admissions instructs students on entrance examination and interview with the Dean Students Welfare. Now, the details with your host, Nasir Ahmed. Dear viewers and students, the university entrance examination for various PG courses will commence from tomorrow. Around 30,000 students are expected to take part in the examination. Keeping in view students' interest, the Quest team asked the convener admissions Professor Irshad Ahmed Nauchu what mistakes students generally make while filling their answer sheet, to which he said,
for all the students, I would like to show them exactly how they can fill up the response sheet and what are the basic parameters they have to follow. As you can see on the top of this response sheet, we have written that they have to use black or blue ballpoint pen. That means in turn that is the mandatory requirement for the students. Then they will fill up the date on which they are appearing and write down what their name is. However, more important than that is to write down the digits of the roll number in the top column and try to darken the numbers below that particular column, which will in turn help us to scan the sheets properly, where it will go directly assigned to that particular roll number. Plus, one more important feature is that we have two series of the question papers provided to the student. It is mandatory for the student to check the series of the question paper and demarcate that series here. As you can see, we have written A and B. If it is A series, he has to darken the A. If it is B series, he has to darken the B. After that, as you can see, the questions that are numbering from 1 to 60 are adjusted into 4 columns. Each column of 15 questions, and here student has to be absolutely sure as to which particular question is actually he is attempting and what is the correct answer to that particular question. If it is A, he has to darken only the A. If it is B, he has to darken only B. If it is C, he has to darken only C. And if it is D, he has to only darken D in that particular question. This in turn will help us to easily scan as well as be suitable to the student to get exactly the merit that he is actually eligible as per the key.
He said that if students find that there are errors in answer key, they should immediately contact the convener admission cell.
So we have actually kept a carbonless copy of the response. There you can see that is here. This carbonless copy is provided to the student at the end of the examination. He can take this copy with him, and once we upload the key on the university website in the evening of the same day, we usually upload them at around 5 p.m. They can check how many questions as per their attempt are correct and how many are wrong, and he can in turn calculate exactly what will be the percentage. For the information of all the candidates, we upload the key and give them 24 hours to lodge any complaint if there is any wrong key uploaded on the website. If any question is wrongly evaluated or wrongly marked, they can in turn communicate to us. Within a span of 24 hours, we can in turn subject that to verification, and after verification, we can upload the verified key so that the students can on their own be able to calculate as to how many marks they will get in that particular paper. Further, as students know that we have also opted for negative marking, wherein for each question 0.25 marks are actually cut off, and therefore it is better for the students to be sure in terms of what exact questions they are actually trying to attempt and what is the correct key for that particular question, and that will in turn help them to attain whatever merit is suitable for the admission to that particular course.
Professor Nauchu said that students should follow important instructions written on the answer sheets, otherwise they will become ineligible for marking.
Main instructions are, number one, that they should carry with them only an identity card as well as the admit card. No material like mobiles, etc. will be allowed into the examination. Whatever attendance sheets are provided to them for marking their attendance, it is important for the candidates to write down the number of the response sheet as well as the series of the question paper provided. Because sometimes, even if they miss it on the response, we can in turn consult that attendance sheet and try to see whether the response sheet and the series has been marked on that. Plus, once they try to compile the data on the response sheet, whatever they write down, they should never try to either rub it off or overwrite it. Because at the time of rubbing it off, the sheets are not scanned properly, and overwriting in turn sometimes gives them a negative grade. That is why they can lose 0.25 marks for that particular question.
A few entrance papers scheduled on Sunday have been rescheduled on demand of students. Professor Nauchu said it was done keeping in view the interests of the larger student community.
We have only rescheduled papers that were to be held on Sunday. It is primarily because we are approached by many candidates who are appearing in an SSRB test that is scheduled throughout Kashmir Valley, wherein roughly about 50,000 candidates are appearing. Out of that, a majority is also appearing in the entrance of the Kashmir University. They approached us through media and directly contacted me also, and on that basis we have postponed that day's exam, and we have also notified that in the press that the exam scheduled for Sunday, that is on 21st of this month, have been rescheduled to be held on 1st of March. The venues, center notes will remain at par. There will be no change in that.
The convener admissions requested all those students living in far-off places to start earlier so that they are on time for the test. The latecomers will not be given entry into the examination halls.
Because under rules, no student is allowed to enter the hall after the 15 minutes duration, because sometimes the candidates are actually appearing in the exams by reaching the centers around half an hour late, and during that short duration they are not able to complete all the questions. Those students are coming from far-flung areas like Kupwara, like Uri sector. They are advised to approach the city of Srinagar one day in advance. One more important feature that candidates should know is they will never be allowed to leave the examination center or hall prior to the completion of time duration, because we nowadays provide the duplicate copy of the response sheet as well as the question paper directly to the candidates at the end of exams, so that in the evening he can consult the key that will be uploaded on the university website with the question paper as well as his duplicate copy of the response sheet, and on his own be able to calculate what will be the overall marks that he can be able to get in that particular entrance.
Professor Nauchu said that this year, due to huge rush of aspirants for MEd courses, the university has also established entrance test centers in 2 city colleges.
Primarily because the number of applicants is much higher than the capacity of the university. These 2 colleges are Women's College MA Road and Amar Singh College, and they can in turn directly reach that center, and for that we have kept the examination at 1 p.m. that is the second meeting, so that if the students are coming from far-flung areas, they will be able to reach the centers also.
He said that the classwork for the new batch will hopefully commence in the mid-March.
As per the plan that was finalized last year, we are planning to start the classwork from 15th of March. Because ordinarily we were getting delayed in terms of these entrances, and that will in turn delay the classwork. This year, as per the guidelines of the Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Admission Committee, we have decided to conduct the exams in the month of Feb itself, so that within the first week of Feb, all the results will be declared, and the time duration for admission completion is only 10 days, and most probably around 15th of March classwork will start.
Professor Fayaz Ahmed, Professor of Zoology and Director of the Directorate of Internal Quality Assurance, has been appointed as the new Dean of the Department of Students' Welfare. The Quest team, while congratulating Professor Fayaz, asked him what are his priorities as the new Dean Students' Welfare, to which he said,
As Dean Students' Welfare, as the name indicates, that we have to work towards the betterment of the students. And fortunately, I have been the student of this university, a scholar of this university, and then teacher of this university. So I am reminded of those days when I was a student and what hardships we were facing. And probably those hardships remind me that I have to somehow address those hardships. And probably one of the biggest challenges for the students of these universities is to reaching to the campus. That is obviously transport facility. Those days university was providing transport facilities, but probably with the passage of time that has been withdrawn, and now we have probably 1 bus running for students for this campus, otherwise we have for the offsite campuses.
Asked that a growing number of students, especially from far-flung areas, are demanding transport facility, Professor Fayaz said that their demands will be given consideration.
When I was a student of this university, we had transport facility for all the students. But now I see that we have only 1 bus for the female students operated by the Dean Students' Welfare. There are some buses for the offsite campuses, but not for the main campus. Some buses do provide some isolated student facility, transport facility to the students on some selected routes. But my first priority would be to actually have this transport facility on all major routes. And I am thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor that I could realize that we have one bus which is available with us, and I moved a proposal, and immediately it was allotted to the Dean Students Welfare, and immediately we'll be having two buses available with us, and I'll be finding ways and means to actually have this expanded to large section of the society.
He said that the Dean Students Welfare has always been student friendly, and he will ensure that it becomes friendlier towards students.
As Dean Students Welfare, we cannot be against students at any stage. We have to be, there is no other option except to become student friendly. And my approach would be to reach to the students rather than to get students to the office. My approach totally would be to reach to the students, to overcome the difficulties of the students, to address to their grievances. Probably I would be meeting the students in the departments. I would frame a program wherein I would be having an interaction with the departments, or probably I would be having interaction with the students, that is CRs of the students, and I'll come to know about the problems, and then I can sort out the problems at different fronts.
He said, as the Dean Students Welfare, he will ensure that in college, students' pleas are heard and addressed.
We had certain issues with these colleges regarding students. In Dean Academic Affairs Office, I have been associated with that admission process, and majority of the admission related issues were of the colleges. And obviously we would always put our foot down to actually get the students' problems resolved. And as Dean Students Welfare, probably that would be my top priority, to have these problems of the main campus, of the offsite campuses, and of the affiliated colleges, because we provide them affiliation. Obviously we have to make them to actually address the difficulties of our students.
On the issue of fellowships and scholarships, Professor Fayaz said that the Dean Students Welfare will take steps which will inform every student of the university about the availability of fellowships.
Recently, I have attended the first meeting of that scholarship distribution with the Dean Academic Affairs in the chair. Then there I did realize that there is some disconnect in providing the scholarships, because our general section provides scholarships, our Dean Academic Affairs Office provides scholarships, and DSW provides scholarships. There could be repetition of the scholarships, and there could be some students who are left out. So I proposed it there only, that this is not a good system which we have devised. Let us have a centralized system. Let all the applications, whether they come to general section, whether they come to Dean Academic Affairs, or they come to Dean Students Welfare, let us notify them that we have so many scholarships, different types of scholarships, let students apply, and let us pool all the resources available with us for the students, and provide a level field for all the students to get the scholarships.
He said that the annual magazine of the University Gulal will be taken care of, and the magazine shall see improvements in content and design.
My endeavor there would be that we'll be actually notifying it to all the departments, all the students, let all the students contribute their articles. Then we have an editorial committee. We have all the people from different languages, be it English, be it Urdu, be it Kashmiri, be it Hindi, be it Sanskrit, be it Persian. We have people from all the branches, and then obviously that board scrutinizes all the articles and then publishes them. So that obviously means that either the students, while they submit the articles, they are substantive, or the board has no other option to accept the articles. When we have large number of articles, probably we would definitely increase the quality or improve the quality of that magazine.
The Department of Students Welfare throughout the year organizes debates, symposium, and other competitions for the welfare of students. These extracurricular activities help students to develop their all-round abilities, and the new Dean Students Welfare said he will try to keep students engaged in such activities.
What a classroom or what a university or what a college should provide is that they should give them some extracurricular activities. They should actually involve them in, say, competitions, etc. So these programs are a part of it, that we provide students a platform. Every student has some inherent talent. Unless we provide a vent to the talent, then probably the talent remains with the student and it doesn't get expressed. We will have it diversified. We will get, whether it is Sonzal, whether it is other quiz programs, whether it is debates, whether it is seminars, or it is social activities. because somehow we have some events obviously in the holy shrine of Hazratbal, then obviously all the students participate in actually somehow organizing the camps and helping the devotees over there. So obviously all the activities which a student normally should learn during student life, because this is the stage wherein a student has to somehow pick up to become a future leader, future researcher, future teacher, future say nation builder. So we have to train the student in all the spheres rather than simply to make him read and write.
We also asked the Dean Students Welfare what new steps he is going to incorporate for the benefit of the students.
First and the foremost would be to have all the ways and means wherein their academics would be somehow benefited. Then to encourage them to take part in debates, quiz, etc. That obviously would help them to come out of what classroom teaching and express their talent. And then wherever they have some problem which as a teacher, not as dean, as a teacher I can address, then probably that would be my priority.
Professor Fayaz said that he will take steps to bridge any gap among the students and varsity.
Our Directorate of IT and SS has recently given space to our public relations officer that as and when there are certain important announcements, the student has to wait either for the morning news bulletin or they have to wait for the newspapers to come. But now he has been provided space that as and when some decision is taken, that immediately would be available on that site, on our main website. So student has neither to wait for the morning news bulletin nor for the newspaper. He would be instantaneously informed about it, as we do with admissions. We prepare the selection list, we prepare the merit list, we publish the notification, we publish the date sheet. Before it gets published in the newspaper, it is available on our web. And probably before it reaches to our directors and heads and other authorities on the campus, it probably reaches to the students. Let it be student friendly, let people sitting at their homes get all the information, whatever is required by a student.
Professor Fayaz also has a message for the students of the varsity and colleges.
As DSW, I would actually love to have as many interactions with the students as possible. And through this medium, because now that our new students would be entering to this highest seat of learning, my message to all the dear students would be that they obviously demand for their rights, but they simultaneously have certain responsibilities. Let they share their responsibilities and we would be here to help them out in providing them their rights.
With this, we come to the end of today's program. In case you have missed some part of the program, log on to emmrckashmir.com where you can watch whole episode. You can also send us your suggestions at our email address quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. Not remembering eats at you, but remembering suits and resuits.